Hello, my name is Paul Clark, and I'm going to be demoing a Infinity Army Builder iPad app that I've been working on for the last few weeks. This is a sort of a video demo of an early stages of the app. I've gotten a lot of feedback, but I definitely really want feedback from other people. So this is going to be kind of a casual walkthrough of some of the features, some things I really like, some things that I'm a little worried about, that I really want some community advice. So I definitely encourage people to offer some constructive criticism, some, kind of a suspicious eye to certain things and why they're done. Um, Although I really don't mind praise or how great it looks or something like that, I'm definitely looking for more constructive criticism. I'm definitely planning to get this app out as soon as possible. I really want beta testers, alpha testers. So if you got an iPad and you play some Infinity and you really think that the current programs that are available for your iPad aren't really up to par, you're definitely, um, you came to the right place, and I'm hoping to fill that void. I've been developing apps for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now, and I feel like I've got a good grasp on what I like my apps to look like, how they perform, how people like them to perform. And so hopefully through this little bit of demo, you can see what I'm sort of getting at with regards to how I want an Infinity Army builder as well as an in-game assistant should be. So let's go through a little bit of what the app is. So I've had it on the screen here for a little bit, and I'm hoping because of my screen capturing software, you'll be able to see the clicks. But if not, then it will look a little weird when things start to move, and there's no reason why. But again, this is a touch surface, so normally you'd have your finger feedback, but not in this case. So let's take a look. So we've got on the left here, we've got your browse, as I like to put it. And so this will always allow you to browse any bit of the Army's units, sectorials. So let's go, for example, let's go to Aleph and let's take a look at Steel Phalanx. You can see that they're presently in alphabetical order. I haven't gotten to the point where they're going to be organized by type. So you'll have like light infantry, medium infantry, heavy, remote, and tag, and those will be alphabetical within them. So you'll be able to quickly decide what unit type you want to add to your current list. So you'll be able to click on one, you'll be able to see, hey, this is this guy, he is a medium, he is a regular, here's a stat line, here's a special rules, and these are the two different unit options that are available for that model. We've got the base model as well as the lieutenant. Let's go back here. You'll see we've got some Hawk Islam. You can go into and you can see all the different models that are available for Hawk Islam. Uh, QK, pretty much everything's available. I'm using the Aleph Toolbox data that's available from the fine gentleman. I think his name is David. He's been very forthcoming with regards to his data. His Aleph Toolbox is open source, and I definitely appreciate it. With saying it right now, the application will definitely be free. Corpus Valley has been very polite about their intellectual property being available through free apps, and so I'm definitely hopeful that that courtesy will be extended to my app, as well as I don't plan on making any money off of my application. So let's take a look. The big thing is over on the right here. You'll see that we've got our roster, and so this pane on the left here, you'll see, or sorry, on the right, you have your current roster, and we got some stats. So this is in a very like indefinite state over on the right here. But let's start to build a list. So I play Hawk Islam, so I kind of know what I should be building in a list. So what I like to play is I like to play some Mueb. I think that's how it is. So let's put some more guys in here. And so you'll see starting to build a list over here. I like to put in the lieutenant. I like to put in the Spitfire, the heavy rocket, and I like the E-Mauler simply because sometimes it's nice to, especially people playing guided missile launchers. I believe that's the rule. Yeah, it's not a Morat, it's smaller. So we got our 5-man. You'll see that you can see what their type is, their name, their type, their cost. This is the availability of them, so you can see there's 6 of them, and so there's 5. So say, for example, I were to add like Too many. Oh, let's add 7 or 8. Oh no, look, I've seen that my availability is too high, so if I want to delete them, I can swipe over. I think it's this way with the mouse. And you'll see that delete them and they go back. If I were to, for example, add the lieutenant, you'll see that I actually have a second lieutenant up here and one up here, and it will actually yell at you that you have 2 lieutenants. So even though I'm breaking the availability total, I also have 2 lieutenants, and so it will yell at you about that. So I think that's very nifty. So I'm going to continue to build this list. I ran this list at a local ITS tournament that we're having here. And let's see, I'm building, I like the rifle. Oops, I had too many. So I'm going to delete the extra Fide. I had 2 Farzons. I think I went for one of these guys. And I actually like the other chain of command guy. It was pretty nice. And I'm almost done. I think I'm missing, who am I missing? I actually don't think I ran the Fide. I think I ran the character guy. So I'm going to actually add him. Well, let's move them up. I kind of like moving up here, so you can see I with little explanation, I went up to the left side here, and this allows you to toggle the organizational mode. So let's go over this a little bit here. You can see up on the combat group, I've got the number of orders that are available within this. So this will show either irregular, impetuous, or regular, and the count available to them. If I wanted to reorder the list, so for example, I like my lieutenant maybe up at the top, and maybe I like my Spitfire and my heavy rocket launcher at the bottom, and I actually have 6 Muab, so I'm going to actually delete this guy, so I only have 5. That kind of confused me a little bit here. So I've got that. I can also keep adding in this mode if I kind of like leaving it open. Let's see, I think I had a Rajik. I like Dr. Death coming down from the sky. He's pretty nice. I think I got one more order in this group, and if I remember correctly, oh, I had a Spec Ops. So the Spec Ops is not available in my current release, but so we'll exclude him from the build process. But I definitely hope within a day or two having the standard Spec Ops, you'll be able to build, add them to your list, and because we love playing with Spec Ops in my group, and I think it's very valuable to have that out within the first release. So definitely a first order requirement for for this application. So what I like to run on my second combat group is I actually like to run these guys, and I love the chain rifles. So you'll see, oops, I actually added too many, but you'll see that the system or the roster builder is actually smart enough to know that, oh, I hit way too many in combat 1. I actually added this guy too early to combat 1. I actually want him in combat group 2. So actually I'm going to move him out over here, and I'm going to delete this guy. So you can see very fluid movements with regards to building. It's very straightforward. It kind of knows what you're going for. You can only have, when you have more than 10 models in a combat group, it will automatically build you another one. Start off that. But you can see it's very easy to build another one. So say I want to actually make this guy in a third combat group, I can just drag him underneath add combat group. You can actually click it either as well, and it will actually build you more combat groups. So you can very simply go up. Oh, I want to move this guy back over here. I'm going to get rid of my third combat group. So very, very simple, very easy to build a roster. Quite nice. So say I want to go out of it. I've got my roster here. So I'm missing my Spec Ops, which we discussed, but you can see overall I've got my 9 models. And for my second combat group, I actually have 2 irregular orders and 2 impetuous orders. So with my Mutawiya, I believe that's how they're pronounced. I'm probably butchering the name, especially in Hawk Islam. So very simple. You can build your list. If you want to see what the different weapon range bands of this model, you'll be able to click on them over on the right. If you want to see the options, you can click over them on the left. So it's very nice. You can always browse on the left, and you can always build your roster or see your roster on the right. So very, very straightforward. Say I want to know what my rifle or my light grenade launchers, it's a circular template. I have up to 16 inches. I have a +3 range band, and it's normal. But if I wanted to run smoke, I would be using the smoke ammunition. So pretty straightforward. Again, this is very early development, What's also very nice is, say I wanted to look at my opponents, say I'm playing some, let's see, our buddy Michael in our group loves to play the Merovingians. And I know I get to play him, I think I played him once or twice, but he really loves the Lugaroos. So I'd be able to really look at them, see what kind of special rules they have, kind of the different options that are available to them. And although I cannot add them to my roster. You can see that they're not available for me to add to my roster because I am building a Hassassin list. So if I weren't to want to build somebody else's list, I can definitely clear this roster on the right. We've got a simple reset button at the moment, and I can start building a different one. So say I wanted to build QK. I really like the let's see, the Odalisks. They are awesome. I like running them as the three-man Harris squad, so I need those. And I was told that the Contender is very nice, and we'll run a Spitfire, so we got those. Let's see what else we've got here. I do like the Kaplan. I put the Kaplan together. I like the adhesive launcher. We'll run a Spitfire. I think the Doctor might be pretty good. And let's see what else. We've got a, let's fill it in. Oh, actually, I don't want him. Actually, I want some Hafsa because I've been trying to run them. And I actually kind of like, let's see, that's kind of a nice little group there. So you can see I can very simply do that. But say I wanted to add some Yon because they're fucking awesome. Sorry, excuse the language. I do like when things come down from the sky. I can come over here and I can actually move them over to the second combat group. Very simple. You can see it automatically makes that second combat group for me, which is just spectacular coming from like a program's perspective. It's kind of adapting to what you want. I didn't have to go, although you can automatically click the button to build yourself a third combat group in this case, but it automatically knows that if you're going to drag underneath here, it's just going to magically make you a new combat group. So I think that's a great feature with regards to quickly building combat groups. There's no worry about how many are in a different combat group. You don't need 10 to magically make another one. So I think that's an awesome feature available in the roster building. So that's kind of my demo. I think I'm going to call it here, but I'm going to speak a little bit about what I'm hoping to do and some future plans. So one of the big ones is this little play button here over on the right. If you look at current roster, you can see this little play button over here. It doesn't work. But what it will allow you to do is this roster will actually turn into play mode. Instead of seeing costs and your totals and your SWC costs, you'll see whether the model is alive or dead. And so what you'll allow you to do is on the right there, you'll be able to click a button really fast and mark that model as dead. And that will allow you to calculate your retreat. And you'll easily know how much you have left in retreat. And I think that's the biggest thing in Infinity is whether your opponent knows or not, if you're in retreat, whether you do you have to do the calculation, and having an app do that for you is very powerful. So I'm definitely expecting that to be in the app, and again it's very quick, and it allows you to immediately build a list and start playing with it very quickly with one button. I think that's very powerful. Another thing is there will be support for multiple rosters. Presently, I only have on the right as the current roster, and it only has the capability of just showing one roster. I'm not quite sure how there will be other rosters, but you'll be able to name them. You'll be able to, they will be available, ordered by the faction or the sectorial or army that you built it for, and so you can easily build multiple ones. You can rename them. You can order them as you like. So I'm definitely thinking that is a requirement for the application is roster support. Going as far as like sharing them over multiple devices, it starts to get into more of the technical side of storing and sharing. That may be down the line, but I definitely think a lot of lists will kind of be isolated to your application. With regards to emailing it or displaying it, sending it to a forum for advice, that definitely is a possibility, kind of an exportation of your chosen or built list. So I'm definitely hoping that is available in the first wave. So if you're impressed, and I hope you are, that was definitely my intention. I definitely hope that you try to sign up for the alpha or beta testing when I get that up. Most likely I will try to get a Google Forms available to everyone when I post this video so that I can get as many people with the app as possible as soon as possible so that they can try it out, get back to me on bugs or features or inconveniences, problems with their device, issues with different builds. For example, when you build a list for Pan-Oceania, when you get the Aquila guard, right? Aquila, I believe that's the name, or is it the Axila? There it is. I think it's the Axila. You're supposed to get an Oxbot with them, I believe. There you go. So you have a little companion Oxbot. So it should actually show up. The Oxbot should show up in that list with you, but it doesn't presently. So those are the kind of things that are very faction specific or army specific. And I hope that those will be in place. Those definitely require somebody with the knowledge of that faction or army to get back to me and say, hey, this is kind of something that happens in my army, and I'd really like you to implement that kind of special feature available. So I thank you very much for watching this video and sitting through my very impromptu demo. But I've been very excited about this, and I wanted to share with the community. So thank you.